Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to my community show. So, a couple quick announcements before we get started on today. First of all, I wanted to talk about my new upload schedule. I'm going to be sticking with the 2 videos a day, but I've been having issues with meeting the 10 and 12 deadlines. I'm moving that back up to 12 to 2 now, a 12 and a 2 upload, because that should give me enough time to record and or edit if I need to, like if I get lazy and don't record at night like I usually do. I realized, for those of you who actually may care, that I never uploaded the last episode of Kingdom Hearts. So I've been sitting on that one for a little while. Don't worry, that will be coming up. I will be uploading that beginning of next week. So no worries on that. We will have that edited and uploaded soon. Sorry about that little absent-minded. Apart from that, the next coming walkthroughs that we're going to be working through are going to be, we're going to be finishing up Ghost of a Tale and Final Fantasy 1. Those will be done soon. Coming next month, I'm going to be trying to do maybe one game until it's done. I.e., I'll still be doing 2 episodes a day, but 2 episodes of the same game. So that way I'll be able to burn through it a lot quicker and finish it quicker, so I won't be just dragging butt like I was doing. Like I just barely finished Resident Evil when I probably should have finished it like a week ago. But with the way I do my schedule, rather than what a lot of other people do, is I do my schedule just during the weekdays, and the weekends I take off, because I need my breaks, right? Apart from that, you all remember that we started our podcast. We've done a couple of our test podcasts, and I wanted to get feedback on it from y'all. If you liked the original one, or if you liked the second one better, we'll be starting up the podcast channel soon, and I'll make a special announcement for when that one starts up. I want to get all the stuff put together and everything first, so that we're not just starting up a dead channel. And that should be fun. Apart from all that, let's just talk. I know usually I have like a big old setup and everything, but I don't have any topics, honestly. I have a few lined up. I've been making a lot of notes in my little notebook here. My memory is not as good as it used to be, and now I have to go back through all my videos and make sure I haven't done topics that I want to cover now. I don't know what it is about my memory, but it's failing me lately, and it's being very annoying. It's been one heck of a week for me. I got to tell you what. I don't know why, but it's like this week has just felt like it's been taking forever. And usually the first week of the month is the quickest to go by. It's not until the last week of the month that I feel like things are dragging. But I mean, because it's usually I get paid on the first week, and so I'm calm and relieved, and I'm not stressing out about anything. And then come the last week of the month, I'm stressing out. It's like I need the money for next month already, because I'm already broke. But it happens, you know. I get paid once a month for my disability, and that's it. But how's your guys' life been going? I hope everybody who's watching this has been having a good March so far. I know we just barely started. Also, a new year. I should say, hope your 2019 has been going well. That raises an interesting question of when it's okay to stop saying Happy New Year, right? I imagine if it's the first time you're seeing somebody in the new year, that it's okay to say Happy New Year, probably up until May. Never really know, huh? The kiddo's been doing really well. She brought home this really cool diorama of what her and her classmates thought would be a good colony for Mars, and it was kind of neat looking. I really liked it. kind of slipping a little on the grades, but apart from that, she's been doing really well. And it's PE, too. I told her my brother actually failed PE 1 year. But it wasn't because he wasn't able to do any of it. It was because they insisted that he dresses out and wears the PE clothes. And he was like, I'm a rebel. I'm not going to wear that. Man. Life's funny like that, isn't it? This is one of those, I don't know, stream of consciousness sorts of things. I don't know. I sit here and I think about where I've been going. I'm actually coming up on 3 years now of doing YouTube. 3 years for my main channel, since my main channel went live. And we've had our ups and our downs, I can tell you what. And actually, funny enough, the last time I live streamed, I was talking with Bubble Ninja there, and I got a little bit reminiscent about when I first started. And I really loved the videos that I put together for my Kickstarter campaign so many years back. Oh, by the way, the Kickstarter that I funded and promoted, not only did it make it, but it hit 50,000 Australian dollars. I think it was something like 34,000 American. And so they reached up to their 5th stretch goal, which is going to add a cat as a playable character. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of jokes going around the Discord about Born Purr. But anyway, I was thinking about how I'd originally started my channel to try to raise awareness and maybe some funds and backers for my Kickstarter and for my writing career. And then when I was done with that and the Kickstarter fell apart, I didn't know what I was going to do with the channel, because I'm like, all right, well, I started making videos already. What can I do with it? And I remember the first thing I wanted to do was just how-to tutorials. That's actually where the name came from, StepsBasic, Basic Steps. And I can teach a lot of stuff. And it's funny because I don't really think of myself as a very smart person. My friends and family do, but I don't, because, well, I've done a lot of dumb stuff. But over the years, I have picked up so many just random skills, like things I've learned how to do just through living life, and that's kind of an interesting thing too, you know. Yeah, you learn a lot in life, and I'm 33, and I've picked up so many different skills throughout these 33 years. It was funny because I drew a picture not long ago. I drew a picture of Norman Reedus based off of his Walking Dead poster, and I posted it to my Facebook, and one of my best friends was like, I didn't know you could draw. And I'm like, well, I can do a lot of things. I'm not sure if I've talked about this on this channel, but I actually used to be really good at drawing, but I did a lot of mechanical work when I was in the Navy. Not like working with machines, but like working with mechanical stuff. And my hands got pretty badly damaged a lot of the times. Actually, funny enough, I don't know if you can see it so well, but look how crooked these fingers are. And that kind of put a damper on my drawing career. I did a recent animation of sorts for my main channel where I animated The Night Before Christmas. And if I hadn't have put it off until the last minute the way I did, it wouldn't have been as painful, but my hands just hurt so bad for almost a week afterwards, because I really had to pump those pictures out and get everything put together properly. And when I was done, my hands were just like, oh, God, what have you done to me, man? Human, we are hands. We are not made of metal. But it was still fun. And it's a good spirit to have, you know, work through the pain, as it were. I mean, never forget the fact that you're in pain and that you do need to get help for your ouchies, as it were. But sometimes it is good to see a person who's willing to step up and work through the pain to get their jobs done. A lot of the times, it doesn't need to be done the way I do things. I mean, this is a one-man show here. I don't have any editors. I don't have any people who do my job for me. I just do everything myself. Fun, but incredibly difficult for me. But at the same time, it's like I like doing my job. I get no money for it, and all my money comes from my disability, but it's good to have something to keep my mind focused. You know, as that Jacksepticeye fellow was talking about one time, you know, people need to create. And it's never been truer to said than when said about an artist. And while my true passion is writing, and I do a lot of that, it's still good, you know, making these videos is really good for my brain. Because if I let it idle too much, then I start to go a little down on myself. A little. Man. What a crazy life, huh? It's funny, I don't really think of myself as very entertaining, like interesting or anything. But then I start talking about myself and things I've done, and I'm like, wow, did I really do that? I mean, I was almost a nurse. It was a bad time in my life for it, but I was almost a nurse. I went to school for it, and I made it to the clinicals, and that's where I failed out. Yeah. It's not like I just abandoned it. It's just that I decided and discovered that it really wasn't for me. I'm good under pressure, but I'm not good if I have time to stop and think about it. Because then I start overthinking it. I remember so many times in my life when it was like, oh my God, all these sudden serious situations are happening and coming up, and then I'm cool as a cucumber and I get my job done. I get to it, handle business, and knock it out of the ballpark, as it were. And then afterwards, I'm just like, oh God, how did I make it through that? It's one of those things, you know, you see that a lot in a lot of people. How did I make it through that situation? I don't even know. And it was very true. I mean, for example, just right off the top of my head, there was one moment when I was fresh, just I don't think I was married yet, but I was with my wife and her mom, and we were driving out in Arizona, and my hometown isn't really fully paved in all places, and we hit a dirt road. We hit the end of the paved road and hit the dirt road, and down the center of the dirt road they had a pile of loose sand, and I hit that, and the car spun out. And as per usual, I was cool as a cucumber, and I handled it, you know, did everything you're supposed to do, and got the car safely to a stop. And then I was like, okay, now it's time to panic. And I started hyperventilating, and I'm like, it's always important to be able to handle yourself well. But once the crisis is over, then it's okay to gush emotionally, as it were. What kind of stories do y'all have like that? You know I'm not alone in this. There have been some ups and some downs in my life, and I've been through some pretty serious situations, but I'm not really trying to pressure any of y'all to talk about that sort of thing. You know, if you feel comfortable sharing any like serious stories, especially if they had a funny twist to them, then I would love to hear them. I don't know how many of you may have noticed. I think I've been doing a pretty good job of keeping it under control, as well as editing out parts. But my stutter has been pretty bad lately. It's funny to think about that too, especially considering the job that I do now is mostly talking. But on videos, I think I've been doing pretty good about keeping the stutter down. But it's something that's kind of followed me a lot since I was a kid, really. I went to speech therapy once, but that was for a lisp. And the stutter has never really been treated except for by myself. Not bad, you know. A lot of times, you know, that's how I treated a lot of my stuff when I was a kid, though, by myself. The only reason I ended up in speech therapy for the lisp was because a teacher noticed it. And it wasn't even a very pronounced lisp. As you can tell, I can lisp fine now. I think the biggest reason that it never really got treated or noticed was because of the fact that I didn't talk a lot when I was a kid. I mean, sure, get me around my friends and stuff, and when I was comfortable and passionate about something, I generally wouldn't stutter. But then when you put me in anxious situations or situations where I have to address something I'm not comfortable talking about, then all of a sudden the stutter is just all out. Also when I'm tired. If I get really tired, I get really stutter. The whole reason I wanted to do this, and the whole reason I didn't get a topic, was because I started thinking about it last time I made one of these, not counting the Resident Evil one, but the last time I made one of these videos was covering the family thing, the family channel stuff. And I remember that the whole reason that I started the community show was as a way of connecting to y'all. I mean, I pick a topic and I talk about it, and usually at length, but the real point was that so I would be able to connect with you guys, and maybe I'd get some comments along the way and bring them up, and really just kind of be here with you guys. So that's the thing I like about being a YouTuber, especially as opposed to being a star, is that stars are, well, the analogy's perfect. Stars are in the sky. Above us common folk, we can't reach them. But your YouTubers, we're out here, we're accessible. And the idea, the thought that I was going to lose my comment section on my family channel hurt so much, because like between Ben, who is a constant commenter, and a couple of other folks that I always see their names pop up in my comment section. Sign Up for one, always there to help out with little tips about the game. And I see all your names, and I'm starting to know you guys and gals, and I'm starting to feel connected to you. I mean, I know the whole internet thing. You don't really know who's on the other side of that screen, and it's true. We don't. But at the same time, I sit here and I talk, and I listen to you guys, and I take your requests on occasions, and I listen to your advice, and I like to offer my own advice as well. There's been a couple of times when I have been able to offer advice for things, and it kind of feels good that way. That's the whole point of the community show, and this whole point of building a community, and the whole point of me being a YouTuber is to help you guys, to help myself, and to create a community here where y'all can just come watch some stupid videos that I make and maybe enjoy yourself. You know, nothing serious. The videos keep my brain from betraying me and entertain y'all, and I start to see names and recognize usernames and see the advice that I get, and makes us all happy, you know? Of one fleeting moment of happiness in this otherwise dark, mysterious void that is life. Deep. I'm 14 and that's deep, right? But anyway, as always, y'all are more than welcome to leave any comments you got. If you watch this video and you want to comment on like the first thing I talked about with the new podcast, or you want to talk to me, you want to share some of your stories if you're comfortable with, of course, don't share it if you're not comfortable with it. But apart from that, you know, just glad to have you guys on board. We're at 255 subscribers now, and we're looking at 500 as our next milestone. Speaking of milestone, I decided that instead of doing the news show that I was doing, I figure I'll just integrate that into the podcast, and the podcast will be the new show. So we'll do gaming news over there as well. But anyway, apart from that, thank you as always for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, please go and poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment down in the comments section down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can, when I can, if I can, you know all that jazz. And tune in next time, as we will talk about another topic at another time. And until then, good night.